This is Rodney with GaraCore EDC. I'm going to do a real quick video. It's going to be some stopping and pausing, so please forgive me. I don't use editor, so hopefully everything will blend together seamlessly. What we have here is some G10 scales off of the Twosun TS64 with the base color being orange, and they have these lines on top that are black. And I'm going to try to do some dye in RIT dye denim blue to see what it comes out like. Now granted, I know it's not going to look like the denim itself, but the color of the denim. If I don't like this, it's going to be reverting to black dye, which will make it the entire scale black, as you see on the outline portions here. I basically got a small pot here on the stove, and I have it deep enough for the scales to be submerged in, and I have a fork that I'm going to be moving around in, and I'm not attaching wire. Some guys like to do wire and dip and get the bath deep and take them and dip them back and forth, but I'm just going to take the fork to move them around and make sure the dye stays saturated around it. And I'm bringing the temperature up to about 160 degrees, not boiling but hot, you know, just about 2/3 between low and medium on the knob on the stove. And I'm going to let them sit here and percolate for between 30 and 60 minutes, and I'll take them out and rinse until I get the desired effect and keep putting them back in. I hope it comes out well, and I will show you the after part as I'm doing it, as I wash them and rinse them, seeing how dark it gets. I'll start recording again and show. So that's what I'm doing. I'm RIT dyeing some scales off of the Twosun TS64. So stay tuned until I press the record button again. Alright, thanks. Now what I got the scales down in the pot now, and I'm just basically stirring them around, and you know, you can see I'm bringing up the temperature and letting them percolate inside of here. As you can see, they're nowhere near dyed yet. It takes some time. I did some research online, and I did add about a tablespoon of vinegar and full concentrate, no water, of the RIT dye, the denim blue, about 1/3 of an 8 flow ounce bottle. And again, if this doesn't work, I'll be reverting to the black. So you know, there's a lot of different methods for doing it. Guys do it different ways. I'm sort of playing and experimenting to see how well this works. But basically, you know, you just let it sit in here. I did wash the scales in soap, and I'm trying to keep the presentation side off the bottom of the pot so it doesn't burn. I don't want to, which G10 is pretty heat resistant. I'm trying to look through the, can't really see what I got going on here, but I'm not bringing it to a boil. Trying to get it submerged, but we're going to let them sit there and percolate for about 30 minutes, and I'll turn the video back on. So I know y'all don't want to sit here and literally watch this pot for the next 30 minutes, so I won't bore you with that. So hold on just a minute. Thanks. Okay guys, I've adjusted the temperature a little bit. You can see that it's on 1 notch beyond low, because it was starting to percolate just a little bit. But I can see that the color is starting to take a little bit. I'm not sure when it rinses off it'll come back. But ooh, my camera is fogging up. But we're at about the make sure it's submerged. We're at about the 15-minute mark, so we got a ways to go. But yeah, it's coming along. Might need to add a little bit more dye little bit of a water mixture. It is full concentrate. But while we're doing this, I'm sitting here playing with some knives. On this Twosun TS138, I took that thumb stud out, which that thumb stud is not for opening. This is pretty much strictly a flipper open type knife, which I love this. I have this version, the titanium, and the carbon fiber version, and both of them are in D2. They've come out with some, I think, S90V versions. Would love to get my hands on those, but these will have to suffice for now. But you can see the hole that's in there where the thumb stud was. Now, I believe I could put a spidey hole in there like Hilltop Knives does on some of his Rat 1 mods. And what I'm talking about doing is, if you were to look at this knife, imagine not cutting this area out here, leaving it there, but just elongating the hole and making a round hole on this side, so you'd have a full-size spidey hole right here for your thumb to lay in and flip. Now, if you hold it right, you can flip it with the knob that's there without that stud in the way. So let me know what you guys think about that. If you think it's a mod I should try to do and play with, I think it would be. My focus is just horrible in here. Forgive me for the poor clarity. But yeah, now granted, that might take part of the D2 emblem off when I do that. It would be close to it. But I'm thinking about doing it regardless. But I just want to know you guys' feedback and tell me what you think. This is one of my favorite Twosuns. Of course, all of my Twosuns are my favorite. I love them. They are just great design knives. Now granted, I was talking with a guy on eBay the other day. They scratch easy and they get snail trails because they're titanium, and there's some inherent issues, but I think the overall quality of them and the design, aesthetically, they are some beautiful knives, and they come out with so many different designs. It's just so hard to keep up. I'm talking with a guy now that I met through the YouTube community, and he makes me look like a Twosun amateur. He's got 300 plus, I think is what he said. And he's trying to get one of every model ever produced. And there's so many new models coming out. I feel for them. I would like to do the same, but right now I'm collecting the ones that really call to me. And I have quite a few. I'm pushing the 100 mark now. And of course, y'all are seeing a lot of them in my 2 days carry videos, because I like to carry my knives, not just put them in a box and never use them. Now granted, I don't do a lot of hard use. I cut some boxes and some tape and plastic shim stock, and a little bit of whittling here and there. But as far as using them for batoning or just hard use, if I want that, I grab a fixed blade, or I grab an El Cheapo knife that I'm not worried about stripping or destroying. Okay, I'm going to put this back on pause in just a second, and we'll get back with you on these and see how these are coming out. They're looking nice and black. Of course, I know from experience that washes off. You can still see some of that orange coming through when they get the right angle there on it. You can see the orange coming through, so I'm sure it will rinse clean. But it's getting there. When I say black, the denim blue, not the black. But anyway, all right, let's see how it goes. I'll be back in a little bit. Thanks. All right, it's been 30 minutes. Thinking they're still looking pretty orange. Yeah, orange is a hard color. I did the TS114, I think it was. It's the Ariana. And it took quite a while and multiple preps to get them to go. So we'll see how this goes. I'm probably going to have to go for at least an hour and a half of letting it sit here. So just one moment at a time, and if the blue